If the Celtic and Maverick rosters were on a playground, how would they get picked for teams? Luka goes first, obviously best player. Then Jayson Tatum, then Jaylen Brown, Kyrie Irving, Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Derek Lively maybe? It really drops off from there. The point is, the Celtics have 5 of the best 7 players in the finals. How can they lose? Boston was the best team all season and have knocked on the door for years. Dallas just throws this team together around Luka and we expect them to win the title. Come on. But close game, final possession. Who do you trust more than Luka? Nobody. Kyrie is a close second. He has actually hit a big shot in the clutch to win a chip. These will be tight games, so advantage Mavericks. But there is a lot more that goes into this matchup. We will explain the biggest details here, then pick the winner. So according to odds, it's obvious. A very sharp sports book called Circa has Celtics minus 216, Dallas plus 190. To put that in perspective, according to Bill Simmons, they'd be the 3rd biggest underdog winner in modern NBA history. The biggest was the 04 Pistons, 2nd the 2019 Raptors. So think about that. If you follow basketball, both of those were huge, shocking upsets. I mean, if you told people, yeah, the Pistons are going to beat the Shaq, Kobe, 3-peat Lakers, or yeah, the Raptors going to knock off the KD Warriors, you'd be insane. Okay, yes, KD and Klay got injured, but they were huge dogs before that. This would be on that level. But I have been playing underdog throughout this entire postseason, even though we've had this drought of playoff games. I've still been playing, especially WNBA. I love pick 'em. You pick higher or lower. You can up to 20 extra money in a single night. However, right now, they are debuting an 8-pick play where you can up to 325x your money, and it automatically slots in so we can miss 2 of our picks and still win. So let me give you mine. Let's do this quick with 8 plays. Drew Holiday, higher than 4.5 assists. Luka Doncic, higher than 1.5 blocks plus steals. Daniel Gafford, lower 8.5 points. Lively, lower 1.5 blocks and steals. Jayson Tatum, higher 9.5 boards. Kyrie, higher 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Al Horford, higher 13.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And PJ Washington, higher than 5.5 boards. A lot of picks there. Best of luck if you are tailing. Check out this updated map to see if Underdog is available in your area. Remember, if you're in Florida, you still have champions. Use promo code AMHOOPS when you sign up. You can get up to $250 in bonus cash and a special pick. A gigantic upset if Luka wins the title, but it doesn't feel that way. The reason is what they did at the trade deadline. After getting Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington, the Mavs are a beast on defense. You thought Minnesota was good? No, Dallas is #1 on D. The final 15 games of the season and throughout the playoffs. A lot of love for Luka and Kyrie offensively, but their secret is defense. Even Kyrie and Luka. Kyrie is #4 in playoff steals this year. #1, Luka. And watch Kyrie do this against some of the best in the West. And when he's not stealing, he has mastered the art of the swipe down block to prevent shots. This doesn't get talked about enough. In fact, if you look at the most unlikely teams to win it all, the most losses by a champ, the 95 Rockets with just 47 wins. They are famous for adding Clyde Drexler at the deadline, which redefined their team. The blueprint is there, but something about the Celtics should scare people. On April 29th, Kristaps Porzingis had a calf injury against the Heat. Just pulls up from no contact like we see with Achilles injuries. Immediately holds up his hand to get out of the game and puts his jersey over his face in frustration. But the C's rolled through the playoffs without him. 12-2 over Miami, Cleveland, and the Pacers. Of course, it was an easy road, but that's what they get for being the #1 overall seed. Now, Kristaps is ready to go for game 1. He has had 38 days to heal up and is a unique problem for Dallas. As a stretch 5, he can pull their valuable centers out of the paint. That severely hurts the Mavericks' game plan on D. And if they put a small on him, KP can post up or hit mid-range jumpers. They had no answer for him in the regular season. With Dallas's new crew, KP still dropped 24 points on 8 of 14 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. Plus, he is the 5th best rim protector in the league. Then there's the three-point shooting. The C's are by far the most prolific triple team in the league. They were number 1 in three-point makes. Dallas was number 3. Boston number 1 in three-point attempts. Dallas number 2. So there's going to be a lot of threes, but Boston is just different. The best teams in the West playoffs had 4 players make 100 threes this year. I mean, the Warriors had 2 players make 100. The Celtics had 8. 8 players made 100 plus threes. They could kill you from every position. Yeah, Dallas has wing defenders like PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr. They can't guard everybody. Oh, but what if they go cold this series? Live by the 3, die by the 3, right? Yeah, well, they've done it all year. Won 64 games in the regular season. 12-2 so far in the playoffs, so they ain't never gone cold. Now, before we get to this prediction, do not be fooled by the regular season. The dumbest take I've seen on the finals is, well, the Celtics have been the best team all year. I mean, they won 64 games, number 1 overall seed by a mile. But historically, that is not a reason to pick them. Going back to 2000, the first year of the three-peat Lakers, the number 1 overall seed has only won the chip 7 out of 25 times. That means almost 75% of the time they lose. Oh, and 64 wins gets the chip 5 out of 10 times. So 50%, a lot better, but far from a guarantee. So I don't just look at the regular season and say, oh yeah, well, they should win. It's so much deeper than that. But what about the pressure? I mean, Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been to the conference finals 5 times together. Some people look at that as a bad thing. No way. They were so young through that run. It's impressive. But the reality is they still, for some reason, have all the pressure in the world on their shoulders. The Mavs have 0 pressure. And a guy like Luka, who has won championships in Europe, Kyrie has been here before. The stage is not too big, which brings us to the biggest point. There's a narrative that Jayson Tatum is bad in the clutch. But is that true? Steve Kerr once said, look, you can draw up all the plays and X's and O's that you want, but in the biggest games, it comes down to my best guy against yours. Katie and Steph got it done. What about Tatum? Well, both teams are statistically very clutch. The Celtics are 4th in clutch win percentage and in clutch net rating. 4-0 in the playoffs. The Mavs 2nd in clutch win percentage, 3rd in net, 6-3 in this postseason. But Tatum as an individual is maybe the worst star in the NBA. He turns the ball over and misses constantly. It popped up in March, you might remember, when the Cavs were able to force him into an ugly mid-range miss to lose the game. And that's not the only time. Remember, KCP forced him into another bad shot? We thought it was a finals preview. That might be a finals preview for Tatum. In fact, at the time of that Cavs miss, Tom Haberstroh went ahead and put together this chart that shows MVP candidates in the clutch. And by far, way worse than the top 4, not even in their galaxy, is Jayson Tatum. And this goes back 3 years, including the playoffs. Dude just doesn't have it. Now, the cool thing is this series is an opportunity for him to flip the script. Tatum could squash all that negativity and prove he belongs among the elite stars. But I don't think he even has to. I think the Celtics are gonna beat the Mavericks so bad they won't even need these clutch shots. The C's are a much deeper, more talented team with a defense that can slow down Kyrie even if Luka is going off. I predict Celtics in 5. And I know a lot of people want to see Luka and Kyrie raise that trophy, including me. But if I have to be honest, my prediction is that's not going to happen. But Celtics fans are really going to laugh if Kyrie does get shut down, because he is enemy number 1 in Boston, and there is a good reason why.